There's our usual comprehensive football coverage, and we'll be at Kempton Park with Peter Bromley.
Yes, as always, the 220, the King George VI rank steeplechase at Kempton Park is one of the great sporting events of the Christmas holiday. I shall be there at Kempton, and I hope you'll join me.
Also on Boxing Day, you can hear Bob Hope on golf, as well as the Brain of Sport Challenge. 2 days later, on the Bank Holiday Monday, we'll all be back with more football, the Welsh National, and if you can bear it, the Sport on 2 Christmas Panto, a modern-day version of the Tale of Scrooge, introducing our very own answer to Bo Derek, Tiny Tim, Alistair Hignall Cratchit.
Hello, everyone.
Well, there wasn't much budget. Sport on 2 with Barry Davis. It's got it all, starting at 1:30 on Boxing Day and at 2 on the 28th.
And from Radio 2 Sport, a Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Steve. Now, this is where we hand over our VHF FM transmitter to our friends over on Radio 1. Radio 2 continues on medium wave, and after the news, a new comedy series, Mind Your Own Business.
One person has died and 3 others have been injured in what's believed to be a petrol bomb attack on a house in Manchester. Reports say a petrol bomb was thrown through the window of the house in the Wythenshawe district. This hasn't been confirmed by police, but they say they're treating the fire as suspicious. A man has been killed in a car bomb explosion at Lisbon in Northern Ireland. It's understood the explosion happened outside the home of John McMichael, a leading member of the loyalist paramilitary organisation, the Ulster Defence Association. British Airways has confirmed that at least 2,000 jobs will go following the takeover of British Caledonian. But the company says it's hoped that most of the redundancies will be voluntary. Here's Peter Smith.
Senior management from British Airways have been in discussions with their opposite numbers at British Caledonian's headquarters at Gatwick Airport, talking, among other things, about the 2,000 job losses there'll be among the 48,000-strong combined workforce, and assuring staff they're not likely to need compulsory redundancies. But they've also had to face growing disquiet that the deal will create an anti-competitive monopoly, and a letter from the European Commission on this aspect of it has been received by British Airways. But the chairman, Lord King, brushed aside criticism, saying the whole discussion about competition was irritating and boring. British Airways, he said, competed with 141 airlines around the world every day, and passengers could go to Heathrow and choose from 16 different airlines to fly to Australia or anywhere else in the world.
A High Court judge has agreed to relax the injunction restricting the BBC's coverage of the security services. The programme at the centre of the issue, My Country, Right or Wrong, is still banned, but today's ruling means that the BBC is now in the same position as other news organisations in reporting security matters. The England cricket team has returned to London following the controversial tour of Pakistan. The captain, Mike Gatting, said he was grateful for the support he'd received from people in Britain during his disputes over umpiring decisions on the tour. And that's it for now. I'll be back with more news on Radio 1 at midnight.
Yo, Gat, you may have seen in today's Guardian that Archbishop Mikhail of Vologda and Velikustchug lashes out in a letter published in Pravda at pop music and at the, and I quote, wild whining, howling, banging and crackling, and at the entire cacophony that violates human hearing and the human soul. You'll be pleased to hear that we have lots of these things in tonight's programme, with sessions from The Wedding Present, Dat Bluggy, Heresy, Paul Johnson, Robert Lloyd in the new Four Seasons, and the Mekons. Here's Robert.
was happy to take the love, but not so fast that he could stop to thank her. All the child and all the labor and complaining from the neighbors swept us from the power of the anchor. To Festive's truth, this story that you tell is so concerned with all things the youth. I don't think you understand the respect I'm feeling for these people you see as fashion accessories. Should be working in a straight and such job. Really once it got to be right, you wanna make it up another floor. Don't die of ignorance because you fancy that you can set the blinded belly pump for in Sri Lanka. Cause if the bed's a ship and the sea is nice and rough, someone needs to play the part of the anchor. Was happy to take the love, but not so fast that he could stop to thank her. All the child and all the labor and complaining from the neighbors swept us from the bar to the anchor. Getting obsessed with body bits and knowing that you're not alone watching TV as your man's getting blanker. I really need some sewing done, I want it to be beautiful. The woman plays the part of the anchor. You wish he was American, he even put the PT up a portrait of a legend of Polanka. He's into hazy faces and he visits foreign places, and becomes the woman's part of the anchor. The power and the glamour are the roles that you can live, but you will always pass someone cause you're a wanker. And on that stage, the state of place decided by the man, and the woman plays the part of the anchor.
Chart-bound sound, well, it might be if it was available on record. Robert Lloyd in the new Four Seasons, and he did tell me whether they were going to issue some records in 1988, but I can't remember whether he said they were or they weren't. That's the part of the anchor, though. And this is from The Wedding Present. Wedding present in session. Let's give my love to Kevin. And also later in the programme, I forgot to mention this at the start and should have done quite clearly, we'll be getting round to the start of the Festive 50, numbers 50 to 41. And not, as I said in last night's programme, 40. Never was very good at working mathematics backwards. From Paul Johnson, Fear of Falling.
Tell my world around, I was lonely. It was you that came my way, like a sunny day. It's my wish for this to last. I'm afraid this phase may pass. Say you'll never go away. No, no, no. Baby, all I wanna stay. God, this fear of falling. Moments of surrender, with you a heartfelt pleasure. We can stop this fear of falling down. I wish for this to last. I'm afraid that this phase may pass, so you'll never go away. Baby, we'll just stay. Oh yeah, falling down. I got this fear of falling, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, if you break my heart, falling, ooh, falling down, falling down. Hey, if you break my heart, yeah. Got this fear, falling down, got this fear, losing you, got this fear, falling down, got this fear, losing you, you never break my heart, got this fear, you never let me down, falling down, you always need got this fear, losing you, got this fear, falling down, got this fear.
How we've managed to get to the end of 1987 without Paul Johnson being a serious star, I'm not quite sure, but that's Paul in session, Fear of Falling. And from Heresy, Flowers in Concrete.
Black flowers are growing in concrete. There's only so far that we can reach. So let me tell you now. All this we're put together with the rushes. Yes, they come. What's with the riches together? I do know it's a great forsaken.
One feels in one's bones, doesn't one, that Archbishop Mikhail of Vologda and Velikustchug would be unenthusiastic about heresy. That was their Flowers in Concrete, and these are the Mekons. They're everywhere these days. Those are the Mekons, the first from them, which is called Downton. And as my friend Othniel E. Smith says, 'tis the season to be crucial. And I think Dap Bluggy are pretty crucial.
am yr ysbrydoliaeth, fy mae'n dihinoedd o'i lyged ar gael. Ac efo gitio mae'r enw yn berthnasol, mae ei naws ychydig yn wahanol, dynasydd prenaidd hapus, bonheddig
Byddwr clestos cyffyrddus.
Thank you, Gareth, and that's from that Bluggy. We must get them in for another session, actually, early next year. And from Robert Lloyd and the New Four Seasons, Toccata and Fatigue. Get it?
Quite grown up now, and we think we're big enough to leave home.
indeed. Still want to hear him sing That's How Strong My Love Is. Paul Johnson, and that's called Burning. Before that, it was Robert Lloyd and the New Four Seasons, and Toccata and Fatigue. All of the sessions in tonight's programme were produced by Dale Griffin, incidentally. This one on March the 18th. That's the wedding present, and first broadcast, actually. What? Come on. First broadcast on March the 18th, recorded on March the 3rd, and that's called Getting Nowhere Fast, as I'm sure you know, girls at our best. And this next one, these next two, actually, are for our Flossie, should she be still up, which is unlikely, but she said something a couple of days ago of great profundity, I thought, and there's nothing more tedious, I know, than fond fathers who repeat what their children say and so forth, but that's exactly what I'm going to do, because she was talking to Al Martin, who's helping out at home at the moment, and not being entirely sure of the party line. Al didn't know quite what to say when Flossie brought up the subject of death with her and wanted to know a bit about death, and asked what happened to good people when they died, and Al said, rather nervously, well, I think they go to heaven, and Flossie said, oh, that means that like bad people go to London, and I can sympathise with that, I must say. From Heresy, Belief, and Network of Friends. Fuel favourites from Heresy, well, favourites of mine anyway, Belief, a Network of Friends, and from Dap Bluggy, Carpiog.
Cyn, dig am tagu ar ran y gleihin, nag o'r tyllau lan, efo llemyn yn ôl eto, a nag o'r tyllau lan, efo llemyn yn ôl i fewn, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, cawgiau'n llam cogiog. Byddwr, bigwyd fy sydd ar fraich, na'i cwmino, yn falwn y faich, dywedo, dywedo, dywedo. Torch eich gwrthau, ar eich BMX-au, rwygwch eich cefnau, yn eich gamsi torri 1-2, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, cawgiau'n llawn cogiog. Roedd yr erchyll ar fy hun, roedd y sgerbwr llawn cyffin, wylodd merch a tîn, mewn brifau 5-1-2, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, tro ti'n cardiog, cawgiau'n llawn cogiog. Dig mlynedden, hynnydd am y keratin, dig awd y tagu, ar ran y glei hun. Tro ti'n cardiog, cawgiau'n llawn cogion. Tro ti'n cardiog, cawgiau'n llawn cogion.
No sooner had he finished than along came the big bad wolf.
Well, not long ago I was a happy man. Money in my pocket and a ring on my hand. Now my money's all gone and I feel low, standing on the corner of Skid Row. My best friend left me, don't want me no more. Had a great big fight just the night before. Got no class because they know I've been hanging around on Skid Row. People pass by and they stop and stare. They giggle and snicker at the clothes I wear. It's just another day like it always goes when you're hanging around on Skid Row. Got a Ford Granada with the broken through. A great big hole in the bottom of the shoe. My wine's all gone and I want more. Stuck in the corner of Skid Row. People pass by and stop and stare. They giggle and snicker at the clothes I wear. It's just another day like it always goes when you're hanging around on Skid Row. Well, hello, John Peel, what we wanna know. When you gonna quit, where will we go? We'll never get played on the radio, but we'll see you down on Skid Row. People pass by and they stop and stare. They giggle and snicker at the clothes I wear. It's just another day like it always goes when you're hanging around on Skid Row. Hanging around on Skid Row.
Mention me in a song and you get rebooked before you can say banjo. Those are the Mekons and Skid Row. Before that, Dad Bluggy and Carpiog. And for Robert Lloyd in the new Four Seasons, something nice.
My goalie train to a place called Fernanda. Got scared that something nice was bye-bye. I did not care about consequence. I sat on the fence on that one. Well, I'm not getting young and feeling sorry for myself. I'm getting scared that something nice might fly by. I get scared that something nice might fly by. And I won't see it in the corner of my eye, 'cause I have one eye on the
rock the house with Robert Lloyd and the new Four Seasons, and the Festive 50, according to my calculations, should start in about 25 minutes' time. The excitement, E10s. Well, probably not, but I am. I always get very worried about it in case I make a mistake. Last year I did. One or two people spotted it. I played the same record twice. Not everybody spotted it, though. Quite, well, unless I knew 3 or 4 people were listening, of course, which is not impossible. Where are we now? In tomorrow night's programme, we have sessions for you from Bad Dress Sense, Bogshed, The Capitals, Ivor Cutler, The Great Leap Forward, and MC Duke, all drawn from this year. And from the wedding present, Something and Nothing.
Now, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Let no outside noises disturb you.
Man on his feet. Oh,
Paul Johnson in session, and that's every kind of people. If you only just joined us, what we're doing here is rebroadcasting some of the best sessions of the year, and we start on the Festive 50 at number 50 in something like 16, 17 minutes' time. Every kind of people, and before that, The Wedding Present and Something and Nothing. Heresy. That's Heresy, sick of stupidity, and sick of Christmas is what I am. I must admit, I haven't really started on it yet because I've been working, and there's so much pressure on you to kind of to enjoy, you know, and to party, and to buy lots of expensive presents and so forth. And really all I want to do is just sit at home with the children, go for walks and do stuff like that. And there's a lot of pressure on them as well because they have such preposterous expectations built up over about 2.5 months now that there's no way that really Christmas can be anything like they think it's going to be. So they end up by being disappointed and ratty, and I don't like them being under that sort of pressure. Anyway, from the Mekons, Revenge.
Your best friend looks embarrassed, shows a pale flicker of fear, and a sharpened little blade that says it all. There's nothing I'd like better than a vicious cold vendetta. Revenge like sick is always best of cold. And the twisted thread
laughter is the best medicine. It freshens the soul and gives peace of mind.
I've always in the past, I think, tried to avoid pronouncing that. It's Kerry Voyer Ayeth Dant, and it is the festive season, so I thought I'd have a go at it. Before that, the Mekons and Revenge, and that last was from Dat Bluggy. Robert Lloyd and the New Four Seasons, Of Course You Can't.
I'd like to ask you, sir, about the quality of life getting higher. Oh, please, sir, can you give me the objects that I so desire? Of course you can't. It's not the way things are. It's a bit of a shame, but the nature of the game. And if you want to play a part, you're gonna get a broken heart. I know we'd like to make a start. Of course you can't. There's those again, the girl that I've been seeing. Oh, please, can you make her feel the same way about me? Of course you can't. It's not the way it is. It's a bit of a drag.
Robert Lloyd in the new Four Seasons, and of course you can't. An excellent session, this. And I often wonder whether the top pop bands who are featured in these programmes listen to the Festive 50 themselves if they're not working to see how they've done. Last year's big winners, of course, were The Fall and The Smiths, who had 7 tracks apiece in the Festive 50, and Wedding Present, who had 4. This is A Million Miles.
I must have walked past this doorway 30 times, just trying to catch your eye. You made it all worthwhile. You returned my smile. It all became worthwhile. Don't you feel a little cold still by the door? You know I'd really like to talk some more. Oh, don't be worried about your friend. I think she left some time round turn. What was her name again? You're not like anyone I've ever met. You're not like anyone I've ever met. Charlie, over here. Oh, I've known him off and on for years. He's never mentioned you before. Oh, that didn't come out right at all. And now I feel this small. Seems to be it, don't get me wrong. But how are you gonna get back home? Oh, I'd be willing to walk that way. There's something I've just got to say. I could walk a million miles today. You're not like anyone I've ever met. You're not like anyone I've ever met. Get this and over after. I have to tell somebody and you happen to phone. I can't think of anything else no matter how I try. You know I can't even remember the corner of her eyes, and that's right.
One of the year's happier inspirations, I think, from The Wedding Present, that's A Million Miles. And leaving to fiddle it this year, as I am every year. I never have done yet and probably never will. I mean, as long as I continue to do them, because at number 51 was the Real Sounds football record, but I suspect that was probably issued in sort of 1986 anyway, perhaps even 85. So at number 50, this. number 50 in the Festive 50 for this year. That's Tallulah Gosh, and Tallulah Gosh, your chart, of course. And from the Beatmasters featuring the Cookie Crew, this at number 49.
I want to tell you a little story about house. House? What house? House music. House music? Yeah, you know house.
Rocked a House at number 49, the Beatmasters featuring the Cookie Crew, and at 48... Produced by Robin Guthrie, that's the Gun Club from the LP Mother Juno, The Breaking Hands, and that's at number 48 in the Festive 50. Excuse me, at number 47, well, the first of the surprises for me. I mean, a gratifying surprise. A record I only played a couple of times on the radio, and I don't think anybody else played it at all. This is at 47.
I'm considering a move to Memphis with my hair always low. When I arrive in Memphis, I'm bound to meet up with someone I might know. I'm considering a move to Memphis, I'm considering. I'll visit the Graceland mansion and set my face in wax, then go back to my motel room to file my income tax. I'm considering a move to Memphis, and this much I know. When I arrive in Memphis, I'll have to spend my dough. I'll walk down to Beale Street to watch the jug band show. I'll shake hands with Gus Cannon, he's someone I should know. I'll get myself a motel room that's not too small to see. I'll get one with a private bath on a black and white TV. Memphis isn't all that big, at least that's how I found it. Why, it only took an hour and a half to walk completely around it. Memphis isn't all that big, it isn't all that wide. Still, it is the kind of place where a country boy can hide. I'm considering a move to Memphis, I'm considering. A favorite restaurant and eat there every day, and at the nearby bowling alley I'll bowl my cares away. Some days I'll order chicken, some days I'll order fish, some days I'll have pierogies, that's a Polish dish. And after bowling 20 frames I'll sit and have a beer. Perhaps I'll meet a pretty girl who is a barmaid there. I'll get a job at a steakhouse, wash dishes, mop floors. Yes, I know I won't get rich. Memphis is the kind of town that won't feel like a trap. Besides, I kind of like the way it sits there on the map. I'm considering a move to Memphis, that's Memphis, Tennessee. It worked for Elvis Presley, why can't it work for me? The people in the restaurants there will all use forks and knives. They won't take decongestants, though, for fear of getting hives. I'm considering a move to Memphis, I'm considering. I'll ask the lowly sparrow up in his lofty perch, would you please direct me to the local Baptist church? I'll attend the Wednesday meeting, and there I'll speak in tongues. I'll shout and holler, praise the Lord, until I nearly burst my lungs. Someday I'll return to Memphis in my own private jet. I'll remember my first visit there, that's if I don't forget. When I arrive in Memphis, I'll put a sign out on the door. It's okay to disturb me. That's what I came here for. I'm considering a move to Memphis, a move to Memphis. I'm considering.
Featuring the first banjo heard in this year's Festive 50, the colourblind James Experience from an LP that's not even available in Britain on Earring Records from Rochester, New York, and that's called Considering a Move to Memphis, number 47 in the Festive 50. And at 46...
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.